This is a crazy video. Hey everyone, it's Katie and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is gonna be very exciting. I always say that. I don't know why, but really it is gonna be very exciting. I'm so excited to do this because I've wanted to do this for probably a month now. I'm always late to things, but you know, I'm busy. That happens. But yeah, today I'm kind of late to the bandwagon and I'm late to the game. But you know, better late than never. So today I'm gonna be mixing all of my foundations and primers. I only have one in my hand, but I'm going to be mixing more than one, and I'm really excited to do this and everything. I've wanted to do this for a while. I'm super excited, and I'm going to get two mixing bowls. I'm going to mix my foundations and my primers because I figured if I'm going to do my foundations, might as well do my primers while we're at it, and I'm really excited to do this. I'm really excited to see the concoction it creates. I always mix one or two foundations, but I think I have about 7 or 8 foundations. I don't have a ton of foundations. Some people mix 200 foundations, but I don't have that many, but I do have enough where it would be weird. So I'm really excited to do this. I'm gonna go get 2 little small mixing bowls and we're gonna get a montage of me mixing them. I'll show you the foundations or write them on the screen what they are, and we're gonna mix, and it's gonna be super exciting. A scientific experiment. It's gonna be pretty exciting. So yeah, let's just get right into mixing. I'm really excited about this. You've probably seen 400 videos of this, but you know, what's one more? These are the best mixing bowls I could find, but we're gonna make it work. Okay, so I'm gonna mix on camera, just like in person. I said montage, just so we can get the first person together. This is really hard to do. Yeah, we're just gonna start mixing. I tried to do as many equal parts as I could, but it was really hard to, just because like 2 were squeeze tubes, 1 was just a pump, so it was hard. Okay, so this is the primer. I'm gonna do the primer first. I was gonna do half face regular primer, half face this, but I think I'm just gonna put it over my full face. That's mixed up, so that's what it looks like. Mostly taking on the Wet n Wild primer, so I'm just gonna apply this to my face. Ooh, very cooling. Now I'm just gonna use the fingers for the rest. So a little there, little there, little on my nose. I think this primer is gonna be fine because these are all like hydrating, but I'm nervous for the foundation just because I have, I think, 1 or 2, maybe 3 matte and like oily type skin foundations, and I have dry skin right now, so that's gonna be fun. Okay, now we're just gonna rub this onto our face. Yes, I definitely can tell that the next primers are very wet looking and glowing, getting that glow though, so I'm happy about that. This will probably help the foundation not be dry on me, which I'm excited about. Would I do this every day? No. This is nice. Sometimes I do mix primers though, which I feel like a lot of people don't do. Very glowy. Okay, yes, I'm looking very glowy, which is probably from the Becca Backlight primer and also the Wet n Wild primer, because they're both very dewy, glowy things. But I love a good old glow, so that's great. I'm gonna let it sink in for about a minute. Now let's mix this up. Now we have very thick foundations in there, so I'm kind of nervous, but it should be fine. Just trying to get all those clumps in. Okay, so I'm just gonna start applying this. I'm very nervous. Okay, the texture so far doesn't feel bad. We have, I think, 2 dewy-ish foundations in there, so hopefully the dewiness will cancel out everything. I'm just gonna use a brush just because I can grab a brush easier than wetting my sponge. So just gonna start blending this. So far, I'm getting pretty decent coverage. That glow from the primers is definitely showing. I definitely see it coming through. I'm just gonna put my brush right in there again to add more coverage. I'm just gonna keep blending it. I definitely have more fuller coverage foundations in there. Like we have Wet n Wild Photo Focus. The CoverGirl Vitalist is pretty full coverage. I'm trying to think about what else I have. This is nice. I think it's because I have mostly dewy foundations. It looks a little weird on camera, but in person it's looking pretty nice. And even the color isn't bad. Like the color is pretty good. I'm gonna go wet a sponge to kind of blend it more because it looks a little weird. Okay, so I know it is caking up in certain spots, so I'm gonna take the wet sponge over it to kind of soak that up. It's definitely good coverage, and we have a mix of everything in there. So there's that. I feel like it looks really good. Really good coverage, pretty full coverage and everything. It looks really good, and it's a little different in person than it looks on camera. On camera it looks a little bit different, but it's pretty like comparable. Like, it looks really good. You can't really see anything. It is tacky, so I will need to set it, but I'll just use like just a good powder for my skin right now. But yeah, it looks good so far. Really love how it's looking and everything. I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup, and then I will come back and show you what it looks like with everything over it. Okay, so I went to very natural lighting. Like, I'm in an open window right now, or not in it, but like, you know what I mean, in front of a window that's very open right now, because I want to go in very natural lighting to show you what everything looks like. I love how glowy it is. I obviously have highlighter on over everything, but I love how glowy everything looks. Like, it looks so good, and I'm not really dry on the side of my nose. Okay, maybe a little bit, but not really bad. I was afraid mixing 2 matte foundations with my other foundations that, well, pretty much 3 matte foundations and then the rest are dewy. I was afraid that like mixing those that I would be like dry, but I'm not dry anywhere. I did have to set it down a tiny bit, but I just do that with a sponge so I'm not too dry. But yeah, I'm still looking glowy even without the highlight. I was really glowing, which I loved, and yeah, I really love how everything looks. I'm really impressed with it. Would I do this every day? Probably not, but yeah, makeup details will be down below, but I'm really excited and everything. I'm gonna try and get this video up as fast as possible. I believe it's about like 12:30 right now, but we're just gonna call the check-in time about 11:30 since that's when I finished applying everything. But yeah, so I'll kind of update you throughout the day and give you kind of the rundown. I'm probably gonna do maybe 2 check-ins, maybe 1 at 5 hours and then 1 at the end of the night, which will probably end up being like me telling you the next day and all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, this is what we're looking like. I'm impressed. Hey friend, I look a little crazy. So this is what the foundations are looking like. I almost said just foundation. This is what it's looking like. I love how I still have the glow and everything. Everything still looks pretty good after 5 hours of wear. Really good. Kind of impressed. A little dry around my lips and then a little bit dry around the nose, but I always get dry around here and on my top lip and everything, but still looking glowy, still looking good. Really impressed. There's not really much to update you on, and yeah, would never do this concoction process every day, but it has been fun to try out. So update you at the end of the night. Loving it so far, like I've said. So beautiful, glowy, little dry, but you know, it's fine. Hey friends, so it's the end of the night, and yes, I already took it off. I wasn't thinking that I would be recording this tonight. I thought I would do it tomorrow morning, but I had the house to myself, so might as well do this now. Yeah, so I ended up wearing this foundation concoction, primer concoction for about 10 hours, which is pretty good wear time and everything, and I'll have a little overlay like I always do, because I always do that because I just like doing that and I always do it and everything. And so yeah, like I said, I wore it for 10 hours and I think it looked really good for 10 hours. Like, you could still see my highlight, you could still see the glow from the actual foundation concoction, primer concoction, and I just thought everything applied pretty well. I did think that the sponge worked better than the brush, so I don't know, if you were gonna use this exact same concoction as me, I would recommend using a sponge, but I thought the primer was just really nice because it was very glowy. And then I also thought that it didn't burn my skin or anything like that, which was nice because I know some people had that issue when they mixed foundations. I think I got the perfect amount of dew and like glow with my foundation concoction. It didn't dry me at all. Like, I got a little bit dry in my typical areas, but that's just bound to happen. And yeah, I thought it just worked really well. It was great. And Skoda's currently trying to make a bed behind me and stuff like that. I probably wouldn't ever do this again because it's kind of time consuming trying to get everything. Like, would I mix 2 foundations, 3 foundations? Yeah. Would I mix this many? probably not. So yeah, it was fun to do. I'm glad I did it and all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below any other challenges or weird things like this you would like me to do next, because I definitely have a few already on my list, but I want to know what you want to see next down below. Let me know what you want to see down below and all that kind of fun stuff. Any other normal videos too, you can recommend those too. And also I just wanted to shout out all the new subscribers that I have been getting. I've been recently noticing that a lot of people have been subscribing to my channel, so thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I appreciate it. And if you're new, please subscribe. I post videos every single Friday and sometimes bonus days. And also hit the notification bell down below to be notified, because sometimes YouTube is weird. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day, night, whenever you're watching this. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye.